Hi guys, welcome back to Battle with Ola. This is Mujala Oluwa and today we want to talk about summary judgment. You find this in Order 11 Lagos, High Court Civil Procedure Rules, summary judgment, or you could check the civil procedure rules of the court in your jurisdiction where you find provisions for summary judgment if applicable. Summary judgment is the type of judgment that you ask the court to make when you are sure or certain that the other party has no defense to your claim. So it is applicable to civil matters, civil litigation. And essentially you come by way of application telling the court, oh, I have this case, this claim against B, I'm A, and I believe that B cannot defend this position. B cannot defend this claim. B cannot say, in all honesty or in good faith or reasonably, oppose my claim before the court. So just go ahead and grant me and let's not waste time. That's essentially what summary judgment is all about. How do you apply for summary judgment? You file your originating processes per usual, all those things you're supposed to file, statement of claim, witness statement on oath, everything you're supposed to file, you file everything normally. And then you file alongside it a motion applying for summary judgment. That's an application for summary judgment before the court. You attach to it an affidavit of facts where you set out the facts, where you convince the court that, oh, because of so and so and so and so, I verily believe that the defendant cannot oppose or dispute my claim, and so I'm asking for summary judgment, and you attach a written address. Those three things, they come along with your originating processes. You file it before the court and the other party will be served. The defendant will be served. So that motion is motion on notice, not ex parte. You have to serve the other party. So if they have a defense, contrary to your belief that they do not have a defense, they can file or enter their defense as they would normally do in any normal civil matter within 42 days. Within 42 days. They have 42 days to respond to say that, oh no, we have a defense. We are disputing this claim. We're not just going to allow the court to just hold for you. And then they file their own processes as well. 42 days. So this kind of application for summary judgment can be brought for any type of claim. Any type of claim before the court. And if the court is so persuaded, the court will, look at what's been filed, the claim, and decide for the claimant. But if the defendant enters a defense, the court will have to adjudicate upon it as any normal matter. If the defendant is disputing it, they would also need to file a counter affidavit to your application for summary judgment alongside their own processes, and they would also file a written address countering and disputing your own arguments in your own written address, telling the court that no, do not hold for them per summary judgment. Let this matter go to trial. So if the court is convinced by the statement of defense and the counter affidavit filed by the defendant, the court will make an order for the matter to go to trial. You have to make a ruling on applications filed before the court. So the court will rule that the matter should go to trial and the defendant should enter their defense, and then the case will be adjudicated upon normally as any civil matter. When the court does this, we say that the court has granted leave to defend to the defendant. So the court will grant leave to defend, and then the matter will be defended. It will not be summary judgment. But if the court, or if it's not contested by the defendant, even after being served, the court can hold for the claimant. And that is when we say that the court has delivered a summary judgment in the matter. That would mean that the matter did not go through the normal process of claiming, counterclaiming, opposing the claim, or defending the claim. It's just on the basis of what the claimant has put before the court, what the claimant is claiming before the court, proving before the court. That is what the court decides upon to grant a summary judgment. Also, where a defendant defends the claims but does not sufficiently defend some of them, the court will grant judgment for the ones not defended or the ones not sufficiently defended, and decide upon the other parts that were defended as any normal matter, holding on a preponderance of evidence for the party that is able to prove their case before the court. So that's essentially what summary judgment is. For the procedure, for the requirements, check Order 11, High Court Civil Procedure Rules of Lagos State, or check any other civil procedure rules of any high court in Nigeria, and you would find what is applicable in your own jurisdiction. For summary judgment, after the court makes an order to defend, the case is entered in the general cause list so that it can be decided upon like any other matter. Now let's go to the undefended list procedure. The undefended list procedure can be found in Order 21. The requirements or the provisions for this can be found in Order 21, High Court Civil Procedure Rules, Abuja, or you could check the High Court Civil Procedure Rules of your jurisdiction for the provisions on this. Undefended list procedure applies to liquidated money demand or recovery of debt. That is money that's been ascertained in figure. So you must be able to say that I'm claiming 10 million naira from Mr. A, or Mr. B owes me 10 million naira. So you come to court and tell the court, oh, this person owes me 10 million naira. He cannot defend this. And so enter judgment in my favor. Compel him to pay me what he owes. So that's essentially what the undefended list procedure is. It is for swiftness, swift adjudication of the matter, and so that the court's time will not be wasted in the sense that, the court will not have to wait for the defendant to enter their defense and whatnot. So it essentially applies to money that is, which value or which figure has been ascertained. That's Wutoni number. You can say that it's 10 million, it's 5 million, it's 8 million naira, it's 2 million naira. So that's what you use the undefended list procedure for. To do this, you file a writ of summons and you accompany it with an affidavit of facts where you state that your claim is for recovery of debt or a liquidated money demand, and that you believe that the defendant has no defense, and then you ask the court to place it on the undefended list and hold for you. So if the court is satisfied that the defendant has no good defense, or that you have a good cause for believing that the defendant has no defense to the matter, the court will hold for you and put it on the undefended list and then adjourn it for hearing. This is decided on its merits, and so it is not a judgment that can be set aside, except in the instance of fraud, non-service to the defendant, because you have to serve them, and then in the instance of lack of jurisdiction. That's when it can be set aside by that same court. But if it's carried out, if the process goes through and a judgment is entered in the claimant's favor or the plaintiff's favor, it can only be set aside on appeal. If after being served with the writ of summons and the affidavit of facts, asking the court to place it on the undefended list, the defendant decides that they want to defend the suit or the matter, they must file an intention to defend at least 5 days to the date set for hearing by the court. So, time is of the essence in these matters, and essentially it is to save the time of the court and the parties. So, of course, the other people coming to court, so that, their own time is not wasted. So, the defendant must file an intention to defend 5 days to the hearing date and accompany it with his own counter affidavit, setting out, why he believes that he has a defense and he intends and can defend the matter. If on the hearing date the court is convinced that the defendant indeed has a defense to the matter, the court will make an order moving the matter from the undefended list to the general cause list, and then command or make an order also that parties should exchange pleadings. But if the court is convinced that the defendant cannot defend the matter, the court will make judgment or hold for the plaintiff or the claimant. But it's important to note that in the undefended list procedure, it's not, a free ride. The claimant, even if the defendant does not show up to defend the matter, must prove his claim before the court can make judgment or hold in his favor. And once the court has delivered that judgment, it is binding. It is binding. It can only be set aside, like I have said, in the instance of fraud, non-service, or proof of lack of jurisdiction. If not, then a defendant, should he wake up later and say, oh, I want to contest this matter, cannot come to that court. He has to appeal it at the higher court. So only a higher court can set it aside once judgment has been entered in an undefended court. So the undefended list procedure and the summary judgment are like equivalent. So one is in Lagos, one is in Abuja. You can check your own jurisdiction rules of civil litigation, for which one is applicable, but they are different in the sense that summary judgment can be used for any type of claim, while the undefended list procedure is used only for liquidated money demands or recovery of debt. Both of them are judgments on the merits, so they cannot be set aside by the same court that made them upon the application of a defendant much later, except there's fraud, there's non-service, or there's lack of jurisdiction. So if a defendant wants to set the judgment aside or nullify the judgment, the defendant must go on appeal. So both of them are fast-track procedures to save the court's time and everyone's time, and to make sure that matters and claims are dispensed with swiftly, especially where there's no defense to them and there is no need, to go through the elongated trial procedure. That's all I have for you in this video. I'll see you in my very next video, where we'll talk about something even more important and even more interesting. Bring a friend to Battle with Ola. Toodles!